Well, hey folks, Fat Guy Flies RC. All right, this is the FREEWING 80mm F-22. We're going to take it out the field and have some fun with her. All right, we'll meet you out the field. Hey folks, Fat Guy Flies RC. All right, going to take out the 80mm F-22 by FREEWING, their new one. Got the nose wheel gyro activated. I got a 8-channel Spectrum smart safe receiver, whatever the 8-channel one, I don't remember the numbers. All right, got our timer set for
starting the fun over
4 minutes. I'm gonna do takeoff flaps because I got no kind of wind.
Gear going, flaps are up.
On a 5000 HRB. Turn them rates down a little bit.
Mid rates. Time remaining 3 minutes.
I haven't flown this plane in a while.
Gear coming down. Landing flaps. Flaps are up.
I decided not to land.
Time remaining 2 minutes. Flaps are up.
Didn't like it?
Landing flaps. Braking. Cruise flaps are up.
All right. That's a great. Just the wind is now across the runway, so that sucks. All right.
Takeoff flaps.
All right. Takeoff flaps.
Time remaining 1 minute.
Do one more.
Flaps are up. Gear going up. Gear coming down. Third take landing flaps. Seconds.
There.
Flaps are up.
Didn't even need reverse thrust that time. Great flying F-22. Yeah, that nose wheel gyro. People are having a hard time when this thing first came out, and they were taking off, and she was just all over the runway. And
Timer expired.
the gyro that came with it just could not compensate. And so this one is a nose wheel gyro from Spectrum, and it is wonderful. Her steering's great.
Braking. Cruise mode.
All right, just show you the reverse thrust does work. All right, take it back to the bench, get your battery report. All righty, now you can see my battery placement halfway through the strap, and that's how much I had left on the battery after 14 seconds. Of course, I was taxiing around
Starting the
on a
over.
4-minute timer, so 4 minutes is perfect for this.
A few moments later.
All right, folks, we're going to take up the FREEWING F-22 again and have a little bit of fun with it.
AS3X mode.
KM model afterburner inside there. I have the afterburner now calibrated basically to come on just as soon as I get it to about 10% throttle. I want to be able to see it. So I know that's not scale, but I'll be honest, I really don't care. All right.
Starting the fun over.
4 minutes, takeoff flaps. Run a 5300 SMC high voltage pack. Hopefully I can keep the sun out of my eyes. All right, takeoff flaps, here we go.
Flaps are up. Gear going up. Mid-race. Time remaining 3 minutes.
Yeah. Great flying F-22.
Gear coming down.
All right, my gear is down.
Landing flaps. Flaps are up.
All right.
Time remaining 2 minutes. Landing flaps.
Oh,
Flaps are up.
well, we just spun her around. But I really held off that high alpha landing just a little too long.
Takeoff flaps. Flaps are up. Gear going up.
Now, I'm in my mid rates right now, not my high rates.
Gear coming down. Landing. Time remaining 1 minute. Braking.
All right. All right. We'll push it for one more.
Take off flaps. Seconds. Landing flaps. 20 seconds. Braking. Cruise mode.
Almost.
Flaps are up. 10.
All righty.
Landing flaps. Flaps are up. Braking. Cruise mode.
All right.
Motor is secured.
Take it back to the bench. We'll get you a battery report. Real quick, let's check the gear because I had that one spin around landing.
Gear going up. Gear coming down.
All right. That means the functions are all right, but let's make sure they're secure. All right. They feel good.
Gear going up.
All right, let me spin her back over. All righty. We were 4 seconds over, but I was taxiing some on a
Starting the fun over.
on a 4-minute timer. As you can see, that's my battery placement, basically dead center. And I had 35% left on a 5,000. Now that's a 5300 SMC pack. It's on its side right now, so you really can't see it. But all right, we'll talk about the flight back in the man cave. See y'all later. Well, hey folks, Fat Guy Flies RC coming to you in the man cave. Wasn't that fun? Got those 2 flights in. kind of crazy in that second part of that second video where I kind of spun around. I had a great landing or decent landing, but then I spun around. And, you know, I checked the gear there, but I just want to show you, you know, that was a fairly, you know, some side slipping going on there with that landing. And, boy, I tell you what, this gear is stellar. Absolutely. It's painted, you know, but look at this gear.
Gear going up.
Isn't that awesome?
Gear coming down.
I mean, I'm just so impressed with that. That is so cool. All right, well, anyways, let's go over the flight. I don't, you know, I get home from flying, and then I'm like, you know what, did I do a battery report? Did I tell them how much? That's why I've gotten in the habit of just showing you the battery as soon as I'm done flying, because I'm not going to remember it later, you know. So, anyways, okay, let's talk about the rates and everything. Well, number one, let me show you the battery. I haven't, since I'm back, I haven't, just real quick tip, I haven't engaged the motor since I've been in here. So, just a quick tip about if you don't know if your nose wheel gyro is working or not, listen. Okay, I haven't engaged my motors, so it means my AS3X is not engaged. So, but the nose wheel gyro is working because the regular AS3X doesn't come on until you bump the throttle up over 25% or 20%. See, you don't hear it anywhere else, but up on the nose, you do hear it, and you can kind of see it kind of correcting. I can definitely feel it with my hand. So, anyways, real quick, let's go over our settings. And you know what? It would be better. Well, actually, look, show on the side real quick. One of the flights I flew with an SMC 5300 6S, and that's where I had the placement. Okay, right there is a AR, I can't remember the numbers, AR 830-60T 8-channel Spectrum receiver. I got the antennas going at 90 degrees. One I think I actually have poked through the inlet, which I do that on a lot of my jets. Yeah. If you look, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not, but if you look down that inlet, you kind of see that wire back there towards the, like 3/4 of the way towards the top. See that wire? That's the other. See, there's not one here, but when you look over there, you can kind of see that wire. Okay, and that is one of the antenna wires. Okay, that way it's protected, and the only thing that's going on is just got wind going past. It's not going to hurt it, and it's got less around it, so less chance of you having signal loss. And the other one's going the opposite direction for 90 degrees. Okay, now let's talk about our settings. Like I said, I would have gone over how long I flew and how much was left on the batteries at the field. Okay. All right. Now, my flap settings, okay, talk about that first. And I don't notice any rise or pitch when I put these in. No mix was needed. Okay, that's why no mix. Flaps up are a negative 100%. Okay. Takeoff flaps are 0%, and landing
flaps
is 60%. And you know what? I'm noticing, I think I am lying to y'all. Aha. I am lying to you, and this is why I have to apologize. You notice that the elevator is moving, okay? That means, that's right, I have a flight mode. So what I'm going to do, the only way I can explain this is to show you what the monitor is doing when, that's the only way I can explain it, and I apologize. But watch the elevator. See the elevator trim? It's the third one in. Watch the elevator change. I got one click of up elevator. Okay, watch the elevator change when I go takeoff flaps. Okay. It goes -3. And landing flaps, -13.
Takeoff flaps.
Okay.
Flaps are up.
And I'll be honest, I don't know what that, I ain't gonna lie to you, I don't know what that equates to. Is that a percentage or so many clicks? Okay, but when you look at the flap,
Takeoff flaps.
Takeoff.
Landing flaps.
That's actually giving us up elevator. So that will be a negative. If you were to have a flat mix, that would be a negative. Okay? So pay attention to how that looks.
Flaps are up.
And then try to emulate that. There are many videos on how to do flap to mix flight modes. I failed. I forgot. I'm sorry. I apologize. That's what I had going with this one. And I really wish I just would have done a regular mix. That way I could relay that exact information to you. So I apologize. Okay? So I can't really explain that. I just had to show it to you. Now, so we'll talk about their normal flying rates. The high rates that I flew in were 100% throws, 30% expo on aileron. With elevator, 80% with 30% expo. And rudder is 100% with 60% expo. Okay, now I only have one rate on my rudder, just so you know. Okay, mid rates. Okay, yeah, mid rates. Low rates. Mid rates aileron are still 100%, 30% expo.
High rates. Low rates.
And low rates on aileron are still 100%. I didn't change my rates on my aileron at all. On my elevator, however, my mid rate on elevator is 90 with 30% expo, and my low rate is 80 with 30% expo. So I left my ailerons at 100%, 30% expo on all fixed levels. Okay. Oh, I am once again flying. Looking at my thing, at my rates here, high rate aileron is 110. High rate elevator is 110. Okay. But I know my rudder is the same, 100%, 60% expo all the way around. So let me back up again. Aileron mid.
Mid rates.
Mid is 100 with 30% expo. Elevator, 90, 30% expo for mid.
Low rates.
And low on ailerons are still 100%, 30% expo. Elevator, 80, 30% expo. And I think I was in high rates, and I went back and forth between high and mid. You know what? I think I don't really remember now. Y'all, I just have to watch the video. It was either 100, either high or mid, but I know I didn't fly on low at all. Okay, so now let's take, I apologize for not having that down nice and pat for you. All right,
Motor is secured.
let's talk about our AS3X settings. All right, my gains are at the default of, I'll make sure
AS3X
are at 30, 40, and 60 on roll, pitch, and yaw. Priorities, all at 100, not the default 140, but all at 100 on roll, pitch, and yaw. Heading, I didn't do anything with. Okay. Stop lock is at 50 for roll, 35 and 35 for pitch and yaw. And my release rate is at the default 55, 55, and 75 on roll, pitch, and yaw. Okay, the nose wheel gyro is on a 4-second delay for the retracts. And the gain, the rate gain, is at 60%, just so you know. No, I'm sorry. Rate gain's at 60, heading gain 10%. So that's what I got. And its priority is set at 180, which is the default for the nose wheel gyro. And all right, let's see. I think that's everything. We need to talk about CG. Okay. Now, the plane CG is actually on the wing itself. Okay. If you look closely, see that CG mark? All right. Let me get my hand on the other side here where I can hold it. I like checking CG. Whoa, don't hit my face. With the gear down. Okay. And that's perfect. That is absolutely perfectly level. And she's not wanting to favor you. That's just perfect right there. Okay. Now, I don't know the actual numbers for that, but because it's written on the bottom of the wing, or is embossed on the bottom of the wing, you don't really need it. Okay, so remember I had that battery in that middle position. So if you put a 5,000 where I showed you, then you're not going to have any problem with CG. Okay, remember she's a top loader, so that's good. You see where I've got that 5,000? That strap, basically in the very middle of the 5,000. You put your 5,000 there, or in this case a 5,300, 5,000, because these SMC packs actually weigh a little less. But you put a 5,000 there, that middle strap, and you will be in good shape. And last but not least, of course, I have the ever beautiful KM model afterburner in there. And I do not have it calibrated. I don't think I have it calibrated. Well, let's see. No, I don't, because I have a low throttle. But just look at how beautiful this thing is. It's going to get loud in here, so. Oh, because you had to turn the motor on.
Motor is hot.
Just
Don't get burned.
Seems to help. Got to hold still. Oh, things are dropping back there. And see, now the gyros are working because I jumped it up over 30 or over 25% on the throttle. All right, well, there you go. That is the 80mm FREEWING F-22. Absolutely phenomenal flying plane. Look at that heads-up display. I mean, that sucker is bright. Is that not beautiful? All right, y'all have a good and God bless y'all. And don't forget, faith, family, and friends, God bless, and F-22s. Bye-bye.